You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than...
Well, hello everyone. Narelle Warcon here. So wonderful to see you again on Who, What, Where Wednesday with me, Narelle Warcon. And we have a special title today called Every Story Changes Someone. So we'll get to that in a minute. Hello, Jean. Hello, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any of those popping on to my Facebook, Narelle Warcon, also my Facebook author page, Narelle Warcon author, and also LinkedIn. I am so honored and happy to see you all again. We're into the second Wednesday of January for us here, and it's a delight to be here again. You know, each week goes past and we think, oh my gosh, where did that week go? And this week I was more confused this week than I was last week, when more people are confused between Christmas and New Year as to what day it is. But I was Saturday yesterday, and luckily I'm Wednesday today. Hello, Vinod. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. Param, thank you so much for popping on. It really is lovely to see you all. Your support means so much to me, honestly. We hear other leaders and many others talk about YouTube channels and how we are, you know, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes building a community of people who want to come on and support you every week. Oh, thank you, Pat. Come on. It's still late. Well, it's still early in the night. Let's just say that it's 8 p.m. here in Queensland. And like I said, my name's Narelle Warcon. I'm coming to you from Mackay, Queensland, Australia. And again, I want to thank you all for being here. Those coming in from overseas, and particularly you, Pat, I know that it's about 4 a.m. And for our dear sister Jean as well, it's about 5 a.m. I think, did I say 4 a.m.? Sorry, Pat. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to get on today because each week I want to bring to you something I really like to have people think about, things that are happening in your life, may have happened in your life, those sort of things. Hello, Renteki. Yeah, Umbrabash. Sorry. I am never going to get that right until I meet you in person. But yeah, each week I like to bring something to you because, like I said last week, you know, we've done the shining the light, the diamond within. It's still really important for people who want to share a part of their story to be able to step forward and say, hey, Narelle, I'd really like to share some time. Jean, stop it. You're making me laugh. It's really important that we actually still get to share many people's stories from here in Australia, New Zealand, and the surrounding islands. So please reach out if you do want to share your story. That is really important. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share if you want. If you find this very informative or inspiring, share it out to those that you think might like to listen, and also give us a thumbs up, because we love the thumbs up. Remember, everything on social media is run by algorithms, believe it or not. So the more that you leave a chat or say something here or leave a like or subscribe or share it out, it benefits us all, not just me. So I'm not here just for me. I'm here to share a part of my life because I have a lot of wisdom with everything that I've been through. So every story changes someone. What does that mean to you? Did you look at that today? Hi, Raja. Lovely to see you. Did you look at the title today and think, I wonder what she's going to say today about that? I did wonder that myself, actually. So I'm just going to read a little bit, because sometimes when I write things down, I don't know. I know a few people will understand. In my head, sometimes I have lots of things running around and I can't put it down to relying on just my brain to bring forward the messages. So sometimes I have to write it down, and then I can expand on that. So just please enjoy. If it brings up something for you, please pop it in the chat. If you have something that you'd like to share about your life, pop it in the chat and I will bring it up when I go through who's popping on. So thank you again for joining us. So every story changes someone. Now, stories have the power to transform. We all know that, right? We know that if we share a story, it may help somebody else. It may give them a feeling of not feeling alone. So whether by shining a light on unspoken truths, validating someone's pain, or inspiring them to break free from their own chains. A lot of people are too scared to step forward these days. They're too worried about what somebody else thinks, what somebody else is going to say about them. They're worried about, it's sort of like a fear thing, but it's also just a learned past. Yeah, look, it's learned in your past that at some stage you were told that you weren't good enough, that these sort of things don't happen to people like us, that sort of thing. So we need to share our stories because it helps others to break free. Hey, Glenda, lovely to see you. So as an author of Blonde Roots, I've experienced firsthand how storytelling can challenge perspectives and ignite change. And boy, what change did that happen? You've all maybe read my story. If you haven't, then we'll go over to that shortly. So how my story changed me. Now, this is really important because before I wrote Blonde Roots, my life was shaped by experiences that weren't always easy to confront. Let's just say that. So when you go through abuse, sexual, physical, mental, and emotional, and there's others as well, it leaves scars that are often invisible but deeply felt. Now, have you lived through something in your life where you feel that there's a scar there? You may have moved on, but have you actually dealt with that feeling of it's sort of like a remorse, where you may feel guilty about, you're blaming yourself for something that you went through. For a long time, I carried those scars in silence, unsure how to process or articulate the weight of them. And it's a heavy weight. Honestly, when you let go of those things in your life, the stories that you're telling yourself are not always what it actually is. Because after years and years of carrying that weight, the weight gets heavier and it gets heavier and it gets heavier until we now are in a state of mental health issues, because people aren't talking enough, people aren't sharing what they're going through, and people aren't listening. Okay, that's a huge big one too. Yeah, our story has just begun, and I'm going to get to that. So are you, or have you been carrying something that happened to you from your past that you feel keeps you from moving forward? That's the question that I have today. So are you, or have you been carrying something that happened to you from your past that you feel keeps you from moving forward? I'm here and there are many here who have been through different journeys in their lives. Mine was, surviving and triumphing over sexual, physical, and mental abuse, and a lot of other things, a lot of medical problems, preemie babies, all those sorts of things, which I thought, like I was supposed to just be tough or toughen up, they say, get over it, grow a sack. There's a few different terminologies that are used here in Australia. Eat a bag of cement, harden up and stuff like that. But what that does is it makes you feel that you can never, ever talk to anyone about it. And it makes you feel that you're not worthy enough and that your story doesn't matter. So your story is important. Every story changes someone. I share my story so that it may change someone here listening today, in the future, someone you know. My book goes somewhere. I send it all over the world, and it is amazing. Some of the reviews that I get back, both from men and women. So the story allowed me to explore the complexities of trauma. So as you can imagine, going through sexual, physical, mental abuse, it brings certain trauma with it that stays really for the rest of your life. You just learn how to deal with it, learn how to cope with those things. And writing my story was one of those benefits that I had of being able to dump it in a book, so to speak, and move and grow from there. So, so not just as a source of pain, but as a force that shapes identity, resilience, and survival. We have resilience. We all have it there. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to find it, okay? And you use those rocks that the other people threw at you as the stepping stones to get out of that rock bottom, okay? Sometimes we find it within the strength of others, by listening to others, look, I've always said you learn a lot by listening. And I think that's so important, particularly when you're younger. You're still growing and learning and finding yourself, So sometimes it's good to listen to those who you think, what do they know? They're only old people, right? Well, we do know a lot, and we do have lots of stories to go with it, and certainly stories of survival. So when I wrote the book, the process wasn't easy. It forced me to relive moments I wanted to forget. But in doing so, I discovered something profound. Storytelling can be both an act of courage and a form of healing. And it's the form of healing. It took a lot of courage to write the book, because my book is very raw and real, but it also took a lot of healing. And it's taken me years and years, actually, to not only just put it down on paper. You don't just drop it and run. You relive those circumstances that happened in your life, and then you have to heal from that. And when you've had things happen to you right from a very young age as a child, there's a lot of stuff that's hard to understand, to be able to let it go. So I hope you're understanding where I'm coming from. Drop a yes in the messages. I will get over there. I do appreciate you all being here. Yeah, toughen up. It's not an easy thing for anybody to do, and people shouldn't say it. Most of the people that say that probably haven't lived through that in their life. They've probably maybe had an easier life. And believe you me, there are people out there who have easier lives, to to say those sort of things is quite cruel. And to me, it's a little bit of a bullying tactic, or there is something going on in their lives that they need to take that out on somebody else. So survivors have reached out to tell me how the book gave them a voice for their own pain. And this is so amazing. When people read my book, I always say, when you get to a part where you might find overwhelming emotion, then put the book down and ask yourself this question. Thank you, Pat. I just hope I'm not talking around in circles. Ask yourself this question: is my emotion coming from what I'm feeling for Narelle and what she's going through at that time? Or is it something of my own? Am I going to take responsibility for this emotion that's coming up? And maybe it's something that you've never actually spoken aloud or read in a book that you thought, oh my gosh, this is something that I lived through, something similar. This is something that I went through, and I'm feeling this overwhelming emotion now, please let it go, because part of the healing process is to actually let go of those emotions. Okay, it's to acknowledge this happened to you. And even if it's just you in your own living room, lounge room, bedroom, wherever you're reading my book, it could be on the loo, let those emotions go, because it really is very healing and cathartic for you to be able to acknowledge those feelings at that time. So that's a really big one for me. You know, it's validating the feelings that I had struggled to express over the years, and being able to write it in the book was a very, very good thing for me. I always said that writing the book was the best thing that ever happened in my life. And it really is, because I grew so much as a person. I no longer recognize that person back there in the past. I probably wasn't a very nice person. I think deep down I was. I just was struggling with what society thought I should be, or how I thought I should be in society, rather than just being who I was. And you are all so unique. You know, that video in the beginning says you are unique, you are loved, you are powerful. With it's truly incredible. And I truly want to keep bringing this to you, because I think it's a platform that's needed, where we can uplift each other and bring about changes for each other by being there and just showing people love. It really is all about love. Whether you believe in the Lord above or not, I do, and I love the dear Lord. I pray often for many, many of you out there. And yeah, thanks, Pat. Yeah, it really does. It really brings, I think, a light to people who have lived through same or similar circumstances. We never have the same stories. Our stories are all different. They're all unique, but oh my gosh, they are very, very much the same in a lot of ways. So the story forced me to confront darker sides of humanity and the pain we often try to hide. But that confrontation is where transformation begins. And that is exactly right. Until you start to begin to love who you are, change those things that are easy enough to change. And that means just loving yourself more. Hello, Ruth. Lovely to see you. Ruth is coming in from Norway. It's so wonderful to see you, Ruth. You know, as a survivor, and that's what we are, it's not just about having gone through all of this stuff and repeatedly talking about it. I repeatedly talk about it because it's really important to talk about it, okay? Like I said, my book's very raw and real. However, everybody, or as my saying goes, everybody has a story. Every single one of you. Hey, Raysheb, lovely to see you. It's important for you to acknowledge that you have a story, and your story is important. You may not think it is. And it's not just about where you were born, where you come from, it's where you're going, okay? And who are you taking with you? And who are you surrounding yourself with? This is what is really important to look at. It doesn't matter whether you're 12, 20, 40, 60, 80. It is so important to be able to share your story. And you might think, oh, she laughs about all of this, but I can, because my story is no longer attached to me. I let it go in the book. Yes, I still know that it's a part of what I went through, but it's no longer who I am. And a lot of people attach their lives to where or what they think they should be, or where they're going. You attach it to something tied to a rock right back there, right? That at that time somebody said you weren't good enough, or somebody's told you that you could never do that, right? And a lot of people, when you tell somebody that, I know Jean is probably appreciative of this, is that when somebody tells you you can't, you then will try harder to make sure that you can, just to show them that you can. And I'm sure that Jean's nodding her head going yes. So like I said, every story changes someone. What has changed you? You can put it in the chat if you like. There's a story that you heard. Now I'm going to take this a little bit further, and then we'll go over to a little bit of how we take this into ONPASSIVE. Just bear with me just a second. Okay, so Blonde Roots may have started as a way for me to process my own experiences, which it was. Remember, I was putting my life not just on the line because everybody was going to read about my life, and there may be some judgments out there about the choices that I made in my life. Okay, and I say to you, don't do that. Okay, you haven't lived in somebody else's or walked in somebody else's shoes. You don't know why they made those choices at that time. So don't be judgmental on other people, because we never know the battle that they're fighting. They may be all sunshine and smiles. And you know yourself, you have days where I smile a lot. But am I hurting inside some days? Yes, I am. And do I want to share that out to the world sometimes? No. Sometimes I just need to sit with myself and my feelings, you know, my anxieties, and find out where they're coming from. So stories have the power to heal, to transform, and to inspire. And whether they're about surviving abuse, finding resilience, or reclaiming your life, they can leave a lasting legacy of change. Do you know what that means? Leave a legacy of change. It means when you change something in your downline of family, something that may have happened that you thought, well, this is how it's always going to be. Things that I'll come back and read that in a minute, Jean. Just hang on one second so I don't lose my train of thought. Something that you feel in your family that's been passed down, that you think you have to continue doing that, but you feel that it's wrong. You feel that there's something just not right, that doesn't sit right for you. Reach out, think about it, research, you know, delve within and find out what suits you best. And if it's not illegal, immoral, or anything else, then maybe it's time for you to make those changes for that, the generations to come, and leave the legacy that you want to leave. Now, one of the things I know is my mum, beautiful, you know, Christian lady, dad was the same. There was things that I supposed I changed coming into motherhood, having a son and two daughters, that I changed because I didn't believe that the teachings of what mum said. It wasn't that I didn't love and respect her, but I needed to change them for my generations coming forward. Now, one of those things was I didn't love myself enough. I had come through all of this sexual abuse because I didn't love myself enough. And I have changed that for my children. I've left a legacy of them knowing that their mum fought hard to do and be who she is, and change it for them. So I brought up strong, independent, loving, caring children, moving forward, you know, so that they, when they have their children, will be able to pass on. And maybe there's something from me that they didn't like. You know, I was a pretty strict mum. So maybe they're not going to pass that on. But, you know, it is something that we change from generation to generation. We have the choice to do that. You're an adult. You have your choices. Take responsibility for your own actions in your life. This is really important. Okay, now I'll come back to you, Jean, because I know that was something, the things I went through boosted my compassion for anyone who has ever been told they can't be their full selves and follow their joy. Absolutely. Hang on. One of the things I think that's really important there is who, what, when I learned to leave my past in the past. Yeah, and that's not an easy thing to do, Pat. Learning lesson to move forward. I'm still trying to write my book now. Yes, Pat, and I'm always here for you as well. Writing your story. Like I said, everybody has a story. Not everybody will write a book. You put it down on paper. Leave it for those generations of children to come. You know, leave a story, leave a legacy. And in saying that, I'm just going to pop over to my website first before I come back, because I want to say some important things to do with ONPASSIVE as well. So as you know, I have a website, narellewarcon.com. You can go over there. Please have a look at my blogs. Leave a message if you can. My blogs are about things that I wrote about, like the video you saw today, was you have within you the power to change the world. Do you truly believe that? Start believing that you do. You really do. You know, like I love God, and everything about my life is about loving the Lord and doing what's right for Him. But He gives you those choices. He gives you the power, the will to say yes or no to things. You know, it's about time we stood up and said, this is not how our story ends. I am a survivor. I am going to stand up and I'm going to be who I am. And those people who love me and resonate with me for who I am will come and we will be family. You know, so it really is important to believe that you have it within you. Each and every one of you have that power within to change the world. The other one is I learned that you can keep going long after you think you can't. And that's just life experiences. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be who we are. Okay? You can keep getting up. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the, but I went through, or I suffered this, or I'm going through this. I don't have enough money. I don't have, fresh water. I know that it's important out there in life, and we are going to change many lives. Okay? But right now, you can't live within that. You have to go, when I have fresh water, when I have food plentiful, I'm going to be able to help so many others. So my message for a lot of you out there is think about the wording that goes on in your head, but remember that power. Remember your heart, okay? Your heart says, I want to be here. I want to help other people. I want to help my family. I want to help my community, okay? So it really is important that you start to think about how you, instead of living in the past and saying, well, this is all I'm good for, this is all I've got, nobody's coming to help me, nobody's going to save me, I wish they did, I wish there was somebody coming, so remember those things because it is important. Now, on my blog, if you keep scrolling down, you'll see that I write mostly daily, little inspirationals. Go over and just like it for me, please. I would really, really love that. I do spend, quite a bit of time in actually putting these together. As you can see, there are some pretty, some bright, some weird, some wacky. It just depends on how I'm feeling on the day. But if you scroll down, you can actually, where you can buy my book. Now, if you want to buy it from me personally, it is a personally signed copy. You can buy it from me in Australia. It includes the delivery charge. And if you want it to go overseas, we can organize the delivery plus the cost of the book. And I always give a nice discount, for those who are having to spend money on those deliveries going overseas because they're not really cheap. So you can also buy it now, or you can actually get it from Amazon as a downloadable. So pop over to Amazon, look for Narelle Warcon Blonde Roots, and you will be able to download. There's also a free copy. There's also a free chapter available if you want to have a little bit of I think about, okay, well, I'd like to read it, but let's have a look at the first chapter. That's available as well. And also, if you want to contact me and just leave me a message, maybe a message of something that you may have survived over, something you might be going through, I can help you as best I can from my advice, not as a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any of those social worker, but my experience in life is much. So please jump over, contact me, let's talk, let's have a little chat, and we can converse from there. So I really appreciate that. I'll go back now to where I was because I want to bring this into. Okay, so the stories we share are so important to all aspects of our lives, whether it be family, friends, work, etc. So what stories are you telling yourself? Okay, and I want to bring this over to ONPASSIVE now because I think ONPASSIVE people that are coming in here, listening to me every week, with everything that is happening within the world, there's so much drudgery, there's so much pain, there's so much hurt. We have fires in California. Please reach out and pray. If you do pray, pray for them. Pray for all of those that Chris Johnson mentions for me, evening or early morning. For you, daytime. It really is important that we reach out to everybody right now and keep that faith going. because faith is really important, and believing. Okay, you must have that belief. So, excuse me. So just jumping over to ONPASSIVE, what are the stories that you're telling yourself within your head? Because I think many of us are at that point where we are, or some have considered leaving, and some have considered doing something else, which is fine. Nobody ever said that you can't do anything else. I just want to bring awareness around your NDA. You have signed an NDA, whether it's showing for you or not. You have signed that right in the beginning, that says that you won't cross promote to anybody within the ONPASSIVE business. So please be aware of that. Please, yes, you have been logging in, but please only share what is shared by either Marty, Chris, and Red, and a few of us others, but also only that which comes by the updates in the OES. This is really, really important right now. The reason that you are out there, some of you are out there spreading rumors, some of you are out there saying things to try and upbuild or try and make it better or different or worse or whatever it is you're trying to do. I don't know. Take what's in your heart. Okay. There is so much more that you can be doing right now. And like I said, if you're living in the past of, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't know how I'm going to get this. This is the way that it's been. I'm poor. I'm hungry. And I'm so sorry that you're hungry. I wish I could feed everybody in the world right now. And I know many of us will. Remember that. Remember to stick with those people who uplift you. Stick with those people who are going to change the world. Okay, those who are going to uplift others, those who are going to bring hope for humanity. Hang in there. If it wasn't for ONPASSIVE, there wouldn't be anything else anyway. So don't stress over things that aren't happening yet. I can't understand that. And I suppose I went through it when I was a bit younger. You stress over something that hasn't even happened yet. And I always like to ask the question of yourself when you're worried about something or you're stressed about something, will this matter in 5 years' time? Will it matter in 5 months' time? And will it matter in 5 minutes' time? Because the decisions or the thoughts that we have now are not necessarily the right ones for taking into the future. Thank you, Jean. I love you. And I love you all. And it really is about love. So today I really want to bring the message home about every story changes someone. What story are you sharing out there? A story of dread? A story of, oh my gosh, this happened to me? Yes, it's okay to acknowledge that, as I did by writing my book and sharing with you all what I've been through in my life, But do I remain there? No. And did it take time to heal? Yes. And it will take time to heal. For those people out there, and I support a young gentleman in Uganda, Masoki, and he looks after 8 orphans in his community. There are many. And what I can say is that he has the most beautiful heart, because he just loves, like, he's just so appreciative, so even those who live with dirt and they sleep 3 to 1 mattress and they don't have proper water or they don't have proper food can still be uplifting. He has the Lord in his heart, which I'm so thankful that the Lord brought us together, because I don't know how else we would have met. But he inspires me. He says to me, Mum, you inspire us all. No, I don't. You inspire me more, because what you share, your love, your heart, it's the same as William and Seeds Academy. It's the same as any of those that you might be sponsoring or helping out there. They have this amazing heart and love, and they want to share, and they just want to help the children. Oh my gosh, who doesn't want to help the children? They are our future. Thank you, Vinod. I really appreciate you being here. It's about, Pat, just going back there about speaking the truth. When we listen to Ash, we hear the truth, and that's what you should be listening to, and only really that. And what is shared from Marty and Chris, they will say they got it straight from Ash. So there's nothing out there that you should be listening to, and there's nothing out there that you should be sharing until such time as we hear the news that Mr. Ash brings to us. So please be patient. Remember, be blessed, and have change those thoughts around. You know, start looking at love rather than dread. You know, start smiling more. You know, smiling really truly makes your day. If you get up and you think and be thankful for waking up and want to, for me, it's like, who can I bless today, or who's going to come into my life where I might be able to share something of importance or help or love or guidance. I do little things too, you know, like I open the door for somebody. My son opens the door for me, which is really nice. What else? You know, smiling at somebody, saying good day, hello, anything like that, that can make somebody's day. There might be somebody today just sitting on the edge thinking, you know what, life isn't worth living, but life is worth living. You've just got to find the right people to stick around and hang with, that uplift you and not bring you down. Now, I'm going to go over to the messages quickly here, because I can see that there's a few of you here. Again, thank you for those joining us tonight on Who, What, Where Wednesday. If you're joining in from LinkedIn or Facebook or my Facebook author page, thank you so much. Please leave a comment over there, and I will come over and answer you as soon as I can. Now, let me see. Who have we got here? Everybody saying hello. Your story is important. Hello, Pat. Ruth, it's so really lovely to see you all, actually. You take the time out of your day, and yes, I know I take time out of mine too. However, it's just really lovely to see you all. If there's anything that you would like me to share from week to week, that maybe something that you'd like to hear about, or you know, hear me speak about or share, because there's always an option of bringing you on and having a chat online as well. So if ever you want to do that, I know for Jean that may not be pretty, Jean, but I understand, because I'm like that most nights when I'm on the live. So it's so important now to be me. My heart is filled with total love now, yeah, and strength comes from the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I can dance again. That's beautiful, Pat, and you are just glowing. Honestly, you get a certain glow about you. It's amazing, and everybody can see it. So thank you, Jean. The blogs, yes, they're so pretty. The words, the music, and I do put a lot of time into putting those together. You will see on my YouTube, if you have a look there, I do videos. They're only short. That some of them are inspirational, some of them are a little bit about ONPASSIVE, some of them are about business, AI, all those sorts of things. So pop on over. Please leave a comment. You know, I just love to hear that what I'm doing is worthwhile doing. Stick with those who uplift you. You have the most awesome heart as well, Jean and Pat, and everybody here. Vinod, thank you. I'll just go through here. And Glenda, who joined us from South Australia today as well. Ama Chandra, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here. Like I said, if there's anything that you would like for me to discuss, you know that we're not going to go into ONPASSIVE a lot at present, but please make sure that if you want to be added to the list, if there's anybody here who hasn't heard about it, sees it in the future and would like to be a part of ONPASSIVE and the amazingness that we're going to bring in the hope for humanity, then please reach out. You can email me at imin@narellewarcon.com. So I'm in, just one word, IMIN, at narellewarcon.com, and say, put me on the list and I will add you there. Like I said, our business isn't about just getting out there and flogging stuff to people, or another product or another this. We're not reinventing the wheel, we're just making it better. And that has been shared many times by our dear friends Marty and Chris, by sharing what they know of IT, AI, ethical AI. Is truly amazing when you look at parts of the AI that's coming out, things that we can utilize to enhance, not to overtake. Hi Hi, Marcy Ann. Lovely to see you. Enhance. AI is there meant to enhance your qualities, not to overtake. So the fear of, oh my gosh, AI or robots are going to overtake the world, you're really living in a different dimension. But please reach out. ONPASSIVE is going to change our lives in the sense that it is bringing change to the way we do business. So whether you're a small, medium or large business, reach out. We will share with you as soon as it becomes available to us all, which we're looking at in the near future. I love that. A smile is so powerful. Thank you, Ruth. It really is, we've been here for a while now. And if you have been here for a while since the beginning, you are an incredible human being, but there must have been a reason. Okay. What is your reason for staying here for so long? I'd love to hear that, because I know for me, it's just I am in will be fine. They'll all reach me. I think for me, it's about, for the first time in my life, I have been able to trust. Now, having been through sexual, physical, and mental abuse, you lose your trust for many people, and you make your inner circle very tight and very leak-proof, so to speak, so that you're not being hurt again, or your heart's not being hurt. So in ONPASSIVE, I found that it was in the beginning very overwhelming, because there was people from all over the world and all different cultures and all different accents and all different people that were like united in a sense, and it sort of like blew me away a little bit. But as I stayed and I stepped up and I stepped up and I learnt more, and I stepped up for my country, Australia, because I love Australia. Born and bred here and have never really left. One day that may change. But, I do love my country, and I do love standing up and saying, hey, this is who I am, but this is who our people are, not just for Australia, but our friends across the pond in New Zealand and many of the surrounding islands. We are going to make big changes, particularly in those like PNG, Uganda, South Africa, Cameroon, Ghana, Haiti. Not real good at them. But even in our own country, things have gone a little bit stupid right now. Rents, the cost of housing, the cost of food is ridiculous. How anybody can afford to eat these days with children, I have no idea. Kudos to all of you, for just being in survival. But you don't need to be in survival anymore. You can start to trust, start to look at those people, start to listen to those people who can bring us the truth about what's happening. So that's about it for me today. It always feels great to be amongst ONPASSIVE family. Your love and positive energy can be felt from far. Absolutely. I know that there's videos that Marty's doing at the moment with those illustration only incomes. Have a look at those for any country that you're coming from. I know I have a friend in South Africa, so I'll be sending that. I think it's coming up in the next couple of days. Yeah, belonging, Glenda. That's truly, that's a good word. And it truly is about belonging. Do you feel that you belong here? It really is incredible, that feeling of belonging to something that there's so many with the same feeling, like the hope for humanity, the changing lives, the blessing others. You don't need a lot of money for that right now, and you can start doing that today, because you're going to have to be ready for when you can bless others more, and there will be so much more. So thank you once more for being here. For all those popping in, thank you. Thank you, Jean. I'd love to get you back on again one day when the times change again, so it's not so early for you. That would be good. And anyone who is here who would love to come on, reach out to me. All you got to do is send me a Facebook Messenger. To all those who are trying to be my friends on Facebook, I have almost 900. I can't accept any more on Facebook, but please pop over. I do have a Narelle Warcon author page. please pop over and like me there. I do share things on there. And also, if you're part of ONPASSIVE or want to know a little bit more, I have an OP Australia and NZ Oceanic Ambassadors Facebook page. Please pop over and have a look at that. There's always something being shared. You can always message me through there. So like I said, there's plenty of places to reach out to me. Reach me in Messenger. I don't do WhatsApp. I don't do private messages in WhatsApp. It's a little bit freaky and weird for me. But but for anybody that I might know, sorry, that's a little bit weird. Hey, Pretty, how you going? Gosh, I haven't seen you for ages. Lovely to see you. It really is encouraging the people who actually reach out, who send me messages daily, those who send messages of a little bit of concern. It's just being there and letting them know that they belong. It's okay. It's okay to feel fear, okay? Just don't live there, you know? And that's the thing that is really important, is allowing others to uplift us, love on each other, and make sure that you are blessing somebody today. Do it right now. You've all been a blessing to me tonight here in Australia on Who, What, Where Wednesday. We'll be back next week. If you do have something you'd like me to talk about, I'm open for that as well. If you'd like to come on and have a bit of a chat with me, I'm open to that as well. And let's meet up again next week on Who, What, Where Wednesday. I'd also like to say that I do have a carnival. For any of those who know that I might be doing carnival, if you are interested, pop over to Carnival Aussie Style on YouTube and on Facebook. I'd love to see some support over there as well. I do this to share my story, not to change any of your minds as to what you should or shouldn't be doing, but it has changed my life. So thank you once more. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you. Oh, Jeff. Hello, Jeff. Lovely to see you. It was a pleasure having you on and sharing your story as well. Please make sure that you reach out to somebody today. God bless you all. Keep everybody in your prayers. Pray for California. Actually, just pray for the world right now. But yeah, so reach out to those that you might know over there. I think Julie Wen may be close to California. So reach out to any of those that you do know over there. Make sure that they're okay. Okay. You know, if you've got a spare bedroom, give them a bedroom. I read it that David Switzer said that Dick Van Dyke died trying to save his house from the fires, aged 99 years. Not a nice way to go, but people don't want to leave their place. They don't want to leave their possessions. You can replace a home, you can replace possessions, but you cannot replace you. So always leave when they say leave, and go to higher ground or somewhere safe. So God bless you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here once more, and we shall see you again next week on Who, What, Where Wednesday with another topic. Thanks all. Thanks again. Bye for now. Love you all.